What up, world? Stablish Rich coming right back at you. My next topic, I want to get into this Tay-K case. And this is not entertainment. This is not about the headline. This is about a tragedy. Tay-K McIntyre, a name that once went viral off a song called R.I.C.H, is now going to be running laps around the prison yard for decades to come. Because this kid, and make no mistake, he was a kid, threw his entire future away before it even began.
Let me say that again for the people in the back.
He threw his entire life away before he even knew what life was. Now, at 24 years old, this brother is stacking up decades behind bars. See, TayK was just found guilty of murder.
Again.
This time for the 2017 shooting of Mark Anthony Salvador in San Antonio. And my prayers go out to his family. Something that stemmed from a dispute over photography equipment. He's already serving 55 years in prison for another murder. Now he's facing another 5 to 99 years. And you gotta ask yourself, how many more TayKs are out there? How many young black boys are out there caught in a cycle of glorifying the streets and losing themselves in the process? Yeah, the music pop. Yeah, the internet ate it up. The R.I.C.H was a banger. But while we were streaming that song, a man was dead, a mother was mourning, and a teenager was on the run from real life. And now that life is gone.
CR 12495 State versus Tamar McIntyre. The court's understanding from the deputy that a verdict has been reached in this case. This is what I'm going to tell all the parties who are present in this courtroom. There's not to be any outbursts. If there's an outburst, what's going to end up happening is a deputy is going to tap you on the shoulder. There's no need to get into a conversation with the deputy. That tap on the shoulder is meaning that you are to leave this courtroom, and you will only be allowed back in this courtroom if you're going to be a witness. Does everyone understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anyone who cannot do that? So, both parties, for the state and the defense, let's bring the jurors in.
All right, for the jury.
Everyone, please be seated. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder. Excuse me, no. No, out of the courtroom. Out of the courtroom now.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you don't ignore that. Sometimes, as you can tell, people are invested, correct? So it says, we, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder as charged in the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, guilty of the lesser included offense of murder. Does anyone wish to have the jury polled?
Has reached a verdict. Of course, we told you earlier that it was a not guilty verdict as far as the capital murder goes, but it was a guilty verdict for the murder.
And so our Erica Hernandez covering this fully, this trial from beginning to end. Erica, you were there. Tell us first, though, before you detail what it was like in that courtroom. A lot of people don't know the differences between capital murder and murder. They're two different charges.
Yeah, that's correct, Courtney. That capital murder charge would have been an automatic life sentence. But now that it's guilty on murder, now things change up. So that range of punishment changes now from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. But there is a possibility of parole. So there's a lot that the jury can consider. Now, going back to that moment where that verdict was read, we did hear an outburst from McIntyre's family that was sitting behind him. That could be heard during the live. As we were live streaming that verdict, the judge had told them to be escorted out. She had made it very clear at the beginning there were to be no outbursts. So they were glad that that verdict was not guilty on capital murder, but he still has not gotten away with this fully. It is a murder charge, so he is facing, like I said, that wider range of punishment now. So we're now going into what is called the punishment phase. The jury will then have to now listen to more evidence. We're probably going to hear that rap video be entered in at this point because now they can discuss his record in Tarrant County and him being on the run after this incident and the incident in Tarrant County.
This is bigger than street cred. This is about the value of life and how easy it is to throw it all away when you don't have anyone to teach you better. I don't want to hear free TayK. I want to hear save the next TayK. Now look, I ain't saying he's innocent. Let's be clear. 2 murders he's convicted of. Obviously, he was deep in it. But damn, it still hurts to see a black man walk himself into a life sentence before his 25th birthday. What we got to start asking is this. When will we value our lives more than we value our views? When will we stop celebrating these rap sheets like they platinum albums? And when will the OGs, the teachers, the coaches, the parents start grabbing these kids by the collar and saying, nah, you ain't built for prison. You built for greatness. It's too late for Tay-K, but it ain't too late for the next one. So while the headlines talk about guilty or not guilty, I'm talking about lost or saved. I'm talking about prevention, not just punishment. Because if we don't step in now, we'll keep adding names to a list of wasted potential. And we'll be right back here again and again and again. Music industry will not save them. And the streets damn sure won't save them. We have to put those positive messages out there. I pray for the families. I pray for the victims. And yeah, I pray for Tay-K too. Because even if you made your bed, don't mean we can't learn from it. But that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.